Hi friends, this is Miss Takira from Chesterbrook 807, and today I'm going to read to you the kids' book about tadpoles the frogs. Learn about the life cycle of a frog by Blair Rose. A mother frog lays her eggs somewhere near the edge of a lake. Her eggs are almost the size of peas and are white in color. The eggs, sometimes up to 5 of them, sit alone at the edge of the lake for 5 days. The eggs are hidden in secret, so that they are safe from snakes, crows, and other critters in the forest. Once the eggs hatch, tiny tadpoles move quickly towards the water in search of their mother. These eggs become full-grown frogs in just 30 days. However, the tadpoles grow larger, change shape and color during their development until they become beautiful young frogs. Once they become frogs, they lay eggs of their own, sometimes near the lake where they were born, and so the life cycle of a frog continues. 5 stages in the life cycle of a frog. The first stage. Small pea-sized white-colored eggs are laid by the mother frog near a lake or pond. The eggs are secretly hidden to protect them from other animals in the forest. The second stage. After 5 days of lying hidden near a pond or lake, the eggs hatch into tadpoles. The tadpoles quickly find their way into the water. The third stage. After a few days of swimming around, the tadpoles start growing small legs. Now they are known as tadpoles with legs. The fourth stage. Once the legs are fully grown, the tadpoles can walk out of the water and hop around. Now they are known as froglets. The fifth and final stage. Froglets will lose their tails as they become fully grown adults. Now they are finally known as frogs. They can now lay eggs of their own, and the cycle starts again. Tiny eggs. All frogs start their life as small grayish eggs. Mama frogs prefer to lay their eggs near riverbanks and ponds. They will often hide their eggs in a secret place so that it is difficult for other animals to find. Some mother frogs may also lay their eggs in a little bit of water so that their tadpoles can easily reach the water when they hatch. Most mama frogs will dig a small hole near the river in the soft sand or mud where they lay their eggs. This makes sure that the eggs do not break or are not disturbed by other little critters in the area. After a few days, the eggs hatch into tiny tadpoles that head off for the water. Some eggs are also covered by a layer of a jelly-like substance, a lot like the jelly you enjoy eating, which protects them from heat, rain, and insects. Tadpoles. Tadpoles are the second stage in the frog's life cycle. Tiny tadpoles emerge from their eggs looking like small fish with head and tail. Their flat, soft, and flexible body allows them to easily move and swim around in water. Small tadpoles grow quickly as they eat small insects and plants they find in the water. Because tadpoles are small, they need to be careful of large, hungry fish and birds that often search for and hunt them down. Most baby tadpoles will find small and dark places behind rocks and grass in the water to hide. The long and stiff tails of the baby tadpoles allows them to swim in the water and avoid getting caught by larger predators. Tadpoles need to live in water until they grow legs and lungs, which then allow them to walk, hop, and breathe on land. Food tadpoles eat. Tadpoles are very small, so they can only eat things which are smaller than them. Tadpoles enjoy eating algae, which they absorb through their gills. Many small tadpoles spend their days in the water looking for good algae to eat, and this is why they love living in small ponds with lots of available algae. They also eat water grass by nibbling at the tips of the plants. Some species of tadpoles enjoy eating smaller tadpoles, insects, mealworms, and insect larvae, and small minnows. In the photos, the tadpoles are eating a piece of fish. Tadpoles eat a lot of food during their second and third stage of development because their body is growing very quickly. Tadpoles with legs. Stage 3 in the life cycle of a frog takes place after 6 to 9 weeks of becoming a tadpole. The tadpole will start to show tiny legs growing out of its body. The head becomes larger and the body becomes longer. Since the tadpole is growing, its diet also increases. It will even start eating whole plants and dead insects. After a few days of sprouting legs and arms, the tadpole will develop a bulge in its arms, which later becomes an elbow, a lot like the elbow you and I have. The tiny tadpole begins to look like a small frog in just 9 weeks, but still has a very long tail. It can now hop and play like it always wished. The growing tadpole becomes happy because in a few more days after development of the legs and losing the tail, it will become a full-grown adult frog. Froglets. From the time a tadpole is born, it takes about 12 weeks for it to become a froglet. When you see a small frog that has a small stiff tail stub, it's known as a froglet. They eat and eagerly wait as they lose their tail, becoming an adult frog who can hop and walk around on dry land, enjoying fresh air. Froglets are mostly seen during the rainy season because this is when they like to hop around with their friends and have fun. Food froglets eat. Froglets are some of the most beautiful creatures, and they are very independent. Froglets eat pretty much the same foods: algae, some grass, and insects. They ate when they were tadpoles, with one cool exception. Froglets are unique because as they grow, their tail is used for fuel in addition to the food they eat, keeping their body healthy. This means that they don't have to eat a lot of food like other growing baby animals in the world. The coolest thing about a froglet is the tail is a source of food and disappears while they develop into a frog. Adult frogs. When frogs are fully grown, they become adults. By this time, their long tails have completely disappeared. They are now larger and can lay eggs. Many frogs actually return to the place they were born to lay their eggs, many times in the same secret place they were born. Exactly how long a frog can stay alive and lay eggs depends on the type and size of the frog. It also depends on whether food is easy to find. Usually, a frog can live between 14 and 15 years. There are some frogs, like the large toad, which can live up to 40 years. A clever frog, which is able to hide from predators, lives longer. It is very important that a frog stays near the water because it is a great place for them to find breakfast, lunch, and dinner, mainly consisting of insects, which they catch with their long and sticky tongue. Food frogs eat. Frogs are known as carnivore animals. This means that they eat other animals. Frogs will hunt for bugs, insects, worms, snails, slugs, other frogs, and other small animals for food. Frogs are very clever hunters and can sit still for a long time waiting for prey to come by. As soon as they see a fly or an insect, it waits for it to come close before quickly sticking out its tongue to trap it. Their sticky tongue is like sticky tape and quickly traps the insect or fly onto it. Frogs are so fast that few small animals and insects are able to get away. Some frogs hide by sitting in locations which are the same color as their body, which makes them invisible. This allows them to hunt easily and hide from hunters who may be looking for them. Fun frog facts to remember. Frogs are classified amphibians. They begin their cycle of life as eggs in the water and grow into tadpoles. Tadpoles live in the water and have gills. When tadpoles turn into a frog, it can live outside of the water, but needs to return to the water to cool off and drink. Frogs actually drink water through their skin instead of their mouth. By absorbing water through their skin, they are able to hydrate their body. Frogs are cold-blooded. This means that the temperature of their body is the same on the outside as it is on the inside. Because they are cold-blooded, they need to live near water so they can cool off by jumping into the water on hot days, just like you cool off when you jump into a pool. During the wintertime, frogs hibernate. During the frog's hibernation period, their bones will grow later. that appears as rings, like a tree grows a new layer of wood. When you count the rings inside a frog's bone, you can tell the age of the frog. Frog fossils have been discovered in all parts of the world, except in Antarctica. It is too cold year-round for frogs to live there. Some frog fossils are as old as the dinosaurs. A group of frogs is referred to as an army. Not all frogs in the world are green. Some frogs are brown, some are red, and some are yellow. Each species of frogs have different patterns on their skin. The best way to identify a male frog from a female frog is to look at their ears. The frog's ears are right behind their eyes. The boy's ears are the same size as their eyes. The girl's ears are smaller than their eyes. The male frogs croak or make some unique sound based on the species. Some frogs chirp like a bird or whistle. The female frog does not make sounds. No matter how many times you kiss them, frogs will not turn into a prince.